Hey you, so in this video, buy what you like versus buy for the hype slash what your potential customer would like. I'm going to be breaking down who I see those pieces of advice applying to. Now, this video came about because I've been in contact with more than a few individuals that have gone on to take big losses when it's come sell time on their metals, and when conversating with them, I've come to find out that maybe they may have taken on a piece of advice that they really shouldn't have. So I'm going to be giving my own opinions, just my own personal perspective of how I see both of those pieces of advices and who they apply to and how I see them. So I'm going to be breaking down the buy what you like. I believe the buy what you like applies more to the collector. So I'm going to be breaking down how I see that, and I see the buy for the hype more for the investor slash buy for what your potential customer would like. So I'm going to give my own little 2 cents on both of those and maybe just take it from there. In this video, it's going to mainly focus on collector coins, whereas we all know bullion coins are the investment and collector coins are for collectors, but we all know that's not the case. When we look at modern collector coins for a long time now, a lot of people have seen more profits in selling these, but the mints don't directly advertise these as investment coins, but we all know that the line's been blurred for a very long time. So you can damn near look at any collector coin, see it as an investment piece. In the end of the day, I've made the bulk of my money when it's been flipping these coins to date through the collector slash investment coin. So I see them all the same. They all come under the same banner. So first of all, I'm going to touch upon the buy what you like crowd. Now, this is something that's been put out there in the precious metal community for a long time. I totally agree with it. I don't disagree with it. I just think a lot of people are misunderstanding it to a certain degree, and I'll break that down why. I'm not physically telling you what you should and what you shouldn't buy, and if the piece is going to make you happy, then so be it. But when I say buy what you like, I envision it and would mainly say it to an individual approaching it from more of a collector perspective. So I'm going to give a few points on that. Now, for a collector, buy what you like is going to appeal to them because realistically, price over spot. Now, no matter what it is, it can even be an extremely frugal individual. Being a collector, they're going to purchase it regardless of price because that's what they like. It's a piece that they really like. It's a piece that they want. They're a collector. You get collectors in all type of genres. We're talking about a collector in the precious metal game here. So they're going to be collecting pieces purely for the passion of them liking it. And that's that. So when I see buy what you like, that's why I envision a collector. A collector first and a collector always. So that's who I would say will give that piece of advice to when we're talking about a collector coming into the precious metal game. Now I'm going to break down why this doesn't really fit as we move along. So a second point I'm going to point out here is going to be when an individual is being told to diversity, variety, get a bit of everything, a diverse stack. Once again, absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just when it's taken on board the wrong way. Whereas when you look at a collector, diversity is going to be a great thing for them, and variety. When they collect them, they want to collect a range of things, not stick within one specific series, for instance. The more of the collection they have, the better their collection. So once again, I see that under the banner of the buy what you like crowd. Now, the main important thing here, and this is where I've seen a lot of individuals tripping up, is going to be when you're taking those 2 points I've just mentioned on board. A collector is not going to worry about the price. A collector is going to want variety. A collector that falls under the buy and what they like banner also 9 out of 10 times is going to be handing their collection down to their loved ones, be it kids or family or anything of the likes. They don't normally purchase these things with the intentions of selling them for a profit or at a loss at a later date. And that's my own perception of it. That's what I've seen from the majority of the collectors I've been in conversation with. They collect these pieces not worrying about the price because they don't intend to sell them. They intend to hand them down. All of those things there, I see those individuals as more heart over head individuals. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Now I'm going to break into the buy for the hype slash buy what your potential customer would like. Now these individuals is different in that when I mentioned a few points on the collector side, on the investor slash buy for the hype side, you are going to want to sell whichever you pick up at a later date. And this is where I'm seeing a lot of individuals stumbling here. Now they're coming into this with the collector's mindset when they're buying what they like is being told to them, when they're purchasing with a lot of variety and diversity within their stack. Once again, they're going ham, they're going apeshit with that and purchasing coin upon coin upon coin upon coin, and not taking into account that at some point, and this is the main thing here, they are going to want to sell these coins. And this is where the buy for the hype kicks in, because they've purchased too much of their own personal liking. And just with anything, because you like it, it doesn't necessarily mean the majority or somebody else will like it. Of course, there'll be somebody out there to purchase it. It was purchased by you. The mints made it. You wasn't the only person on the planet that purchased that coin. But in this game of the collector coins specifically becoming more and more dwindled, you really, if you do intend to sell this piece for any type of profit at a later date, really have to start picking your coins a lot more wisely. I've done videos in the past about the top 6 characteristics of a collector coin. I will leave a link to that at the end. But moving forward, a couple of tips that I see a buy for the hype individual would have to take on board is, one, you want to be purchasing a coin that you will be able to take on and give to a dealer. And I mention a dealer specifically because they're only going to purchase what they're going to have no problems selling on to another potential customer. Now, you know you've got a very strong coin when you can take a coin in question that you have purchased from the offset, knowing these things, and then you can sell it to a dealer for a profit. That is a smart pickup to begin with. I mean, we all have made terrible purchases in the past, and some of us may have coins in our stack that we're left saying it's not done too well now, but hopefully on the 10th issue or the 10th release, that's going to be the coin that's going to set this series off, where if we really think of it from a logical point of view, that's not going to happen. If the first one hasn't done too well, the second one hasn't done too well, if the mint in question's got a little too greedy before they're really taken off, you may want to consider cutting your losses, as it can be a very big loss if you still continue to pump money into that series. And next thing I look at when we're talking about buy for your potential customer, what will like or buy for that hype, I don't really need to like what we're talking about. And now when I say that, the coin in question, it just needs to tick certain boxes. I don't have to personally have an emotional connection to the coin. As long as it's coming from a strong pedigree, it's got a good, strong, winning background behind it, it could also be a perfect purchase. Because remember, I don't intend to hold on to this and stroke it every night of the day and pass on to my kids and the likes of. I want to sell this coin at a later date, so I need to buy for the hype and what my potential customer would like. Once again, the list is very small and shrunken a lot more to date, and there are videos on finding out on what type of coins actually do this, but this is one of the traits I'm looking for when I'm purchasing under the buy for the hype banner. Now, another one would be, if it's not broke, don't switch it. When I say that, don't switch it, we're talking about coins that I know a lot of people will say, oh, I've had enough, and oh no, here comes another one of those coins from this specific mint. But dealers, you have to remember, are also in the same boat as us, and they want to be able to sell things and purchase in bulk things that they can go on to sell. So when we're talking and looking at things like that, you're going to be looking at your usual suspects, which is going to be your Lunar Series coins, your Kookaburra coins, even from the same mints. Today, time of releasing this video, the end thing is not losing no money. So if you can take your coin and you've had it for X, Y, and Z amount of time, come time to sell it, if it's still holding its value and it hasn't tanked in price, and you can break even or make a tiny profit, you're technically in the win category. Because with so many coins tanking, you really don't want to be a part of that boat. So these are just a few things that I see when we're talking about buy what you like versus buy for the hype, as they're individuals that are purchasing, that I've personally come across under the buy what you like banner and taking all of those tips on board, but then they want to see the results of the buy for the hype, and that's not happening because either they've got way too much diversity of the wrong type of coins, they had a personal attachment to those coins and didn't take none of the after results into account. Now, you can most definitely do the both of them. There's no way that you have to do one extreme to the other. It can definitely be done, and I've mentioned before, if you're buying one of every single Joe Blow coin, I personally can't see no harm in that. There's 1,001 things in everyday life that we spunk cash on. So if you're spending $25 or £20 on a specific coin that you like, there's absolutely no problem with that. Just don't be under the impression that, or just be prepared and have an understanding that this coin 9 out of 10 may not go on to sell for a profit, and you may even lose money if you do want to sell it at a later date. Buy it for the passion and strictly to that. It adds flavor to the current precious metals game, and it just brings you your own personal warm tingling feeling down the back of your spine. But walk into it knowing what you're getting into. Another model I just wanted to break down is when you're purchasing a lot of these collector coins, something I haven't mentioned before, there's normally a benchmark or a model that we can all go by. And one I normally use is the Perth Mint, as when you're talking about collector coins, the Mint was damn near built upon collector coins. So if we're looking at their, say, proof coins, for instance, their 1 ounce proof coins, they have a set mintage of 5,000. You can pick them up for $70, £55. That's the norm. A lot of individuals have purchased these. They've gone on to do well. They have a good, strong collector base. When you're talking about coins from other mints, even other sizes, we can look at the Perth Mint, something like the recent Dragon antique coin they've done. Why I particularly stay away from these is because they're not the norm for me. For me, they don't have a long enough history and pedigree to be pumping money into them, especially if it's a coin of an odd size coming from a different mint. 9 times out of 10, I've seen them grossly overpriced as opposed to something from the Perth Mint benchmark scale. So I tend to stick away from those and don't go in towards those. If I'm going to be doing anything, it's going to be a 1 ounce proof coin, and it needs to be priced around what I consider or mentioned was the benchmark there, and that's the Perth Mint benchmark. But once again, it would be fantastic if you guys can put in any tips that you know of. As I've mentioned, individuals have gone on to really lose quite a bit because they've gone in purchasing what they like. Majority of their purchase was emotional purchase, and it brought them joy, but come time to sell, it brought them a lot of pain and sorrow. So do buy what you like, but just understand, if you're buying what you like, know that if you do intend to sell at a later date, it may not work out for you, and you just may not like the results at the end. And if you do want to purchase and see, and the main thing here is in the collector market game, if you do want to purchase and see some potential gains or think that it's going to be a potential winner, you need to do a bit of research either into that mint, whether they have any background or history of winners, or just the coin in general, because the list has damn near dwindled down to the bare minimum. So that was just my little take on the buy what you like versus buy what you hype. Buy for the hype, blah, blah, blah. It'd be fantastic to know what you guys think. If you can add anything onto that video, it'd be great. Hate or love it, let me know what you think. Go ahead and follow me on those other platforms if you haven't done so already. Go ahead and subscribe if you ain't done so already. And I'll catch you guys on the rebound.